Hello guys, and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about what I wish I knew about coming to Liberty. And I'm going to be giving you information to make a better decision if you want to come to Liberty or if you want to go somewhere else. My name's Emma and I'm a sophomore at Liberty University. I'm a pre-med student. On my channel, I usually make vlogs about what it's like to be a pre-med student, productivity tip, and I make videos about Liberty here and there. So if that interests you, please subscribe. I got so prepared for this video, guys. I went through so much information to find out a lot of details and facts about Liberty to try and help you guys make a really good decision on your college choice, because you only get one choice, just one. I mean, you can transfer, but there's a lot of things that go into that too. So hopefully this video will be helpful to you guys, and if it is, like the video. My first topic is going to be scholarships and jobs. Let me tell you guys, it is so difficult to find a job / scholarship at Liberty University. If you want to get a scholarship and you're a out-of-state student, it gets a little bit harder, but if you already live in Virginia, you can easily find scholarships through Liberty or through like the Virginia state government. Sometimes they give you grants to go to schools in Virginia. If you live in Virginia, probably won't be as expensive for you, but if you live out of state, it'll be more expensive. You can get scholarships by joining the marching band. You can get scholarships by joining LU Praise, Worship Collective, and there's other ways, but it is a time commitment. I also have a job at Liberty. You guys probably saw in my last video, I think it was called How to Stay Organized as a College Student, and I talk about my experience having 2 jobs. So both of my jobs are actually on campus. I work as a TA and I also work in the science office. It was a really great experience. I loved it. If you are applying for a job at Liberty and you don't have work study, it's going to be a little bit harder to get a job unless you know somebody. You have to know somebody who knows somebody to get a job on campus, and usually if you don't know anybody, it takes like a semester or even a year for them to get back to you. So just keep that in mind. If you don't mind working with food or things like that, you could find a job outside of campus. So the next topic I want to talk about is CSER. CSER is what Liberty does to get their students to do community service, and basically you need 40 hours of community work at any location of your choosing, and you just have to do 40 hours per year. You can divide it into 20 hours per semester, or you can do double CSER, do 40 hours of community service in one semester. This is what a lot of people do because they forget or they put a lot of work in one semester. If you want to take 18 credits one semester and maybe take like 13 or 15 next semester and do double CSER, you can do that as well. You guys can do it at Liberty campus. They have a lot of options, like a lot of options for CSER, so you will never have to be like struggling to find hours for CSER. Next, I want to talk about closing time. Things close so early at Liberty. If you were to go to the library or something and have a late night study session and you wanted to get food after, you probably want to change the order of that. I would get food, then go wherever you need to go to. Things close around 10, sometimes even earlier. And on Wednesday, when they have campus come, everything closes around 9 o'clock. The ROT, I believe, closes at 7 or 8. I think it's 8 probably. So just keep that in mind. Wherever you go to, if you're hanging out with your friends, just make sure you get food on time. The library closes at 11:45. If you are a procrastinator, then you probably want to dial it back a little bit. There's also the computer lab, but I think the computer lab closes at like 2 a.m. I think at 2 a.m. But I just like the aesthetics of the library more. It's like open, bright, and like I just like it way more. And next I want to talk about curfew. Curfew is at 12 o'clock. So basically at 12 o'clock, the RAs go into everyone's room to check if they're in the room. You don't have to be asleep, but you do have to be in your dorm at 12 o'clock. You can sign out to go to the computer lab or sign out to sleep over someone's house. But to sleep over a person's house, you can only do it for maximum of 3 nights, and it has to be someone that is married or related to you. I had my sister going to Liberty too, and she lived off campus. I would sign out basically like 3 nights a week every week to go see my sister, because we would like have a lot of fun at her house. So yeah. Now let's talk about food. So there's 2 plans at Liberty University. There's the basic plan and there's the plus plan. I highly recommend getting the plus plan because you can have more variety of food. But there's also a downside to all the plans basically. You can only get like a select item off the menu. You can't get everything you want. Like at the pizza place called Woodflower, you can only get 1 slice of pizza and a drink. And the plus swipe people are able to get more of a variety of pizzas than the basic swipe. And Garbanzo's only for plus swipe. And Starbucks is only for plus swipe. I think there's a lot of things only for plus swipe. Hey Cow is basic and plus swipe. Plus swipe people can get way more options at Hey Cow. Argo Tea, I believe that's only for plus swipe. Don't quote me on that. I think Dunkin' is plus. It could be basic too. Basically at Dunkin' you can only get 2 donuts and a small or iced coffee. So your options are kind of limited. You can't really get a lot of food, and after you use a swipe, you have to wait an hour to use another swipe. So that's also something that they have. The Rot, you have to wait an hour to get into the Rot as well. You can go to the Rot as many times you want. You have unlimited swipes. You just have to wait an hour in between each swipe. Next is people. People on the Liberty campus are really nice, honestly. You will hardly find like anybody who is mean. If they're mean, then they're just trying hard to be mean. It's really easy to make friends, but I do highly emphasize you guys like reaching out to people, because people will not hardly ever reach out to you, but like if you're not a freshman anymore and you're a sophomore or you're a transfer student, you might have to put more work into making friends, because after freshman year, I guess like a semester into sophomore year, people are less like anxious to make friends or less excited to make friends because they already have friends. So if you're like a sophomore coming in, a junior coming in, even a senior coming in, you have to reach out to people to make friends and be like, hi, you want to go to Starbucks with me? Or hi, my name is this. Like just introduce yourself to people in your major or people who are in your dorm with you to make more friends. Now we are going to talk about living. So Liberty has different options on campus. They have Commons, the Hill, South Tower, the Circle, and East Campus. They also have off-campus locations like Cornerstone, Oasis, and you can probably find other apartments, but these are not owned by Liberty. This is like owned by other companies that are near Liberty. I currently live in Cornerstone. I live off campus because I just personally did not like the on-campus like vibe. Like, the rooms were small. I lived in Commons 1 and Commons 2. Commons 1 is my least favorite because it's actually older than Commons 2. Commons 3 is the newest building that they have for Commons. So I would highly recommend, if you're going to live on campus, I say live in Commons 3, commonly known as the Shoe. The Shoe has a lot of fun. So if you guys really are on board with living on campus, I would say live in the Shoe. Just know that Commons is the most expensive because it's the most convenient, as you only share a room with one other person. Sometimes you can even get your own room, which is what I did my second semester, and I liked it way more than sharing a room with somebody else. That's another story. Like, if you guys want to know my on-campus living experience with my roommate, let me know, because I will make a story time. Now I live in Cornerstone with my sisters. So this is not on campus, actually. This is off campus, and I like just love it. And there's a bus that comes to pick people up. When it snows, the bus doesn't come because of the ice. So just keep that in mind. You should have a friend that lives off campus with you that has a car, because then you would always have have a ride to school just in case anything happens with the bus. So walking distances. Commons is about 5 to 10 minutes away from classes. You have to take a bus from all on-campus locations to get to Green. Hills is also the closest, but you have to live with like 3 or more other people, and it's a communal bathroom, so like you share a bathroom with a bunch of other girls or a bunch of other guys. South Tower is only for girls, and it's about a 10-minute walk, and Circle is also about like a 10 to 15-minute walk. Circle is like an apartment style with like 9 people living in like one area, but like you share a room with 2 other people in that same area, and they have a kitchen where you can cook. And East is an apartment style. It's the furthest away from campus. You would have to walk about like 15 minutes, like 20 max if you're walking slow, to get to campus. And you can also take a bus. There's a bus that goes to East and comes to main campus and goes to Green. Alrighty, let's talk about dress code. Dress code is really not that deep, honestly. Like, people wear like short skirts all the time to Liberty, so you're not gonna have a problem there. The only problem you will have is if you wear crop tops where your belly is showing, or if you wear shorts to class. So if you're not in class, you're totally fine to wear basically anything you want to, except for like your underwear. And if you're in class, you have to wear, you know, pants and like a t-shirt. You can get away with wearing leggings. A lot of people wear leggings to class, so you can get away with that. And sweatpants. I wear sweatpants to class because it's cold outside. Okay, alrighty, so now we're going to talk about classes. So for your gen ed classes, you will have to buy Liberty books from their bookstore. So every like gen ed requires a book, but if you want to save money after your freshman year, you can take your gen eds online. Freshman first semester are not allowed to take online classes. They want to make sure like your grades are good before you start taking online classes, because online classes are basically like you have to teach yourself everything, but you don't have to pay for any books or anything like that if you do online. If you want to save money with getting books, I recommend getting your major, like your major classes, the books that they require. I recommend going to Chegg, Amazon, or like anything that's online to get your books, because the bookstore is expensive and they take a while to get your order in. But if you're going to use the bookstore, I recommend getting the books you need like a week before school starts, because the first week of school, the bookstore is packed. If you want to go on the first week, you have to go really early or really late. So where can you hang out with friends, you ask? Great question. There's a lot of cafes around Liberty. There's La Vida Coffee House, there's Bean Tree, there's Golf Park, which is everyone's favorite, and at Liberty there's a bowling alley. Liberty also has like events. And on the second floor of the library, literally nobody does work on the second floor of the library. It's all like everyone hanging out with their friends and talking. If you want to actually do work, go to the third floor. That's where you're going to get the most work done. They also have like quiet spaces in the library, which are on the third and second floor, where it's like nobody's allowed to talk, can't have your phone on, can't eat. People still eat, but like just the vibe is no talking with your friends, do homework. If you're looking to apply and you're like, okay, what stats do I need? Basically just have like okay grades, like A, B's, maybe 1 C, and have an okay SAT score, and make sure you have some extracurricular activities. Let's talk about social life, parties, fun. So there are definitely parties on campus. The campus is known as a dry campus, which means that you can't have any alcohol on campus, and if you do, it's a violation of the Liberty Way. Even if you are 21, you cannot drink off or on campus, but again, people still do. People still have parties, people smoke, drink, everything. You're gonna find it at Liberty off campus. People are gonna do what people are gonna do, and not everybody at Liberty is a Christian, but I will say most of the people here are Christians. I'm a pre-med student, so I'm basically just studying. And the only way I get to hang out with my friends is if like we're going to a coffee shop or if we plan something ahead of time to go, so not in that scenery, so I don't really know much about it. Alrighty guys, that is it for this video. If you liked it, please like this video, subscribe, because it lets the YouTube algorithm know that I exist and know that people are enjoying my content. So that is all for this video. I love you guys so much. My camera cut off doing my outro, but do not forget to like, subscribe, and comment down below, because it lets the YouTube algorithm know that I exist and know that people are enjoying my content. I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!